The Community Wellbeing Development Team works in collaboration with the NHS and TSI Moray as part of the new integrated partnership known as Health and Social Care Moray. The main aim is to prevent, reduce or significantly delay the need for long-term and residential care services, enabling everyone to maintain their independence and lead active, healthy lives for as long as possible. In order to achieve this challenging aim, the Community Wellbeing Development Team have become reactive and flexible to the needs of the health and social care community. Through co-production with communities throughout Moray, the Community Wellbeing Development Team support existing groups, work in collaboration with communities to set up new groups, as well as crisis-managed groups with short but intensive support to achieve stability and regain their independence. The Community Wellbeing Development Team use the asset-based community development approach, focusing on people as their biggest asset as community connectors. Assets: getting to know the people in their community. Building a positive and trusted relationship with one another over time. Communication: encourage and support through positive conversation. Developing: support the development and confidence of the people in the community as they become skilled and effective community champions. In Moray, the Community Wellbeing Development Team support over 49 independent groups weekly in a 2-hour session, 21 Be Active lifelong groups, 19 social groups including men's sheds, U3A, sheltered housing groups and lunch groups, and 9 specific health and wellbeing groups, including S.E.T groups, COPD and balance groups. Supporting over 1,160 people each week and equating to 2,320 hours of support each week. Let's explore what's on offer in Moray for older people. B.A.L.L Group. Be Active Lifelong Groups, better known as B.A.L.L Group, is an active ageing group for older people. A B.A.L.L Group provides an activity to keep you active and healthy late in life, improving mobility and lessening the risk of falls. Friendship, fostering companionship and becoming connected to your community, reducing social isolation and loneliness. Choice. Each week, there is a wide and varied program of activities to cater for every taste and ability. You can choose to opt in or out of a session, as everyone is valued, respected and supported to achieve their own goal.
My wife went to the Falls group at the medical centre in Forres, and when we left we inquired about attending the Falls group, and they said no, the best thing you can do is join a B.A.L.L group. Well, she has vascular brain disease, and the problem is, you see, that left on her own, she can sit and watch television till the little picture comes on saying that it's never been moved for X number of hours, and then the TV goes off. She didn't even notice. Now, this is not good for her socially, and it's not good at all for her mind, so I try and keep her occupied. So the occupation is, as you say, lamb bride on Tuesday, this Duffus on Thursday, and the church on Sunday morning. Life would be different because when I first mooted the B.A.L.L groups, Helen did not want to go. And I said, right, we'll give it a try. And she enjoys it, and I enjoy it because, as I say, it is a little bit of respite, and it's also a bit of fun, let's be honest. It's quite a lot of fun you get with the people. We're not all sort of spring chickens, and we all make allowances for each other age-wise, and as you can see today's games, it's very enjoyable.
I'd always worked full-time and just retired actually quite late when my husband was ill, And consequently, always being out at work, I really didn't get to know many people outside work. But it's been lovely here, and the people have been so welcoming. Everybody's so welcoming. Yeah. There's not the same impetus at home, you know. It's great to do it in a crowd. Yeah. And it's great that you're playing the games, and we're so competitive, we wouldn't believe it, you know. I would be a recluse. I mean, days would go by when, you know, apart from the fact that my son phones me, sometimes several times a day, but there'd be days go by and I wouldn't speak to a soul.
Basically, I came along to the B.A.L.L group because my husband, Howard, actually suffers from COPD, and I thought that it would help him in keeping active. I have certainly enjoyed the people that come along to the group, mixing with different people. I did actually volunteer to do some of the booking of the programme, and as my good friend Patricia, who's also a member, says, I have become the facilitator. I like to call it the general dog's body. Right from the very start, we had somebody who came all the way from Forres. We have got people from Elgin, we've got people from Cumminstown, we've got people from Birkhead, and it's just lovely to see different people, meet different people. We now have our own equipment, and we actually have indoor curling, we have bohia, we have a wedge. We can do all sorts of things with balloons and bats and balls. Usually we have somebody in to provide some sort of entertainment, physical entertainment, always working to our own ability. And this can be Scottish country dancing, it can be ballroom dancing, Latin American dancing, general strength and balance, and that's the first half of the group session. The second half of the group session, after a rather nice tea break, is somebody coming in to speak to us, somebody coming in doing craft work, maybe doing a demonstration, and we have speeches from all walks of life. We have seen a big improvement in Helen. Unfortunately suffers from Alzheimer's, but over the last few weeks she has got very animated when we're doing our exercises. Yeah. She's got a wonderful singing voice, and if we get some of the old songs coming along, she's singing away to herself. And today is the first day I've actually seen her standing with her Zimmer frame, actually delivering tennis balls to the wedge. It's just wonderful to see how they come on.
When I first came, I could do all the exercises standing up, but it's just the general chatter that, you know, we're over our cup of tea and people are nice, and it's just a general atmosphere of this place. Is you watch as the ladies come through that door, everybody's got a smile on their face. It's a highlight of the week, this, for me. It really is, and it's so well organised, a brilliant committee. I've never been in an organisation that's as good as this.
When I was asked by Moray Council to go around the B.A.L.L groups, I suddenly thought, I'm dealing with frail elderly people. I know an awful lot about dancing, but I don't know much about exercise. So 3 years ago, at the age of 75, I went away and qualified as a fitness instructor. I was at least 35 years older than everybody else there, but they were very kind to Granny Dot. And one of the B.A.L.L groups in Moray helped me take my final test by participating in a video, and which was sent to the examiners. And thanks to the new Elgin B.A.L.L group, I became a fitness instructor. And then the following year, I went back and took another course and became a chair-based fitness instructor. And it's allowed me to use my expertise in dance, as well as doing the exercise safely. Just seeing the laughter, the joy, everybody clapping, singing, happy. And for a wee while, they can forget their arthritis or their cardiovascular problems or whatever it is. They just get lost in the music and dance. I find that I go down some sheltered housing groups, and people with Alzheimer's, they are often limited in what they can do, but they join in and sing. Oh, probably fighting with my husband, my roadie. He is 89 and he takes me everywhere. He makes sure the music's plugged in. Because I'm partially sighted, I often can't find where the sockets are and I have limited vision. So Jim makes sure I'm all right, makes sure I get into the hall safely, because there's often, some halls are quite dark, and so I'm totally blind when I come into a hall, and he just makes sure I get to where I want to go, drives me, and he's super. I couldn't do it without Jim. But what would I be doing without this? I don't know, probably bored out of my skull. Yeah.
My husband died, and it took me about 6 months, I suppose, before I could really buck up any courage to come outside again. So I came, and I was having difficulty with walking because I have a bad leg, waiting for a knee reconstruction. And I came and I thought, oh, I felt so low. I walked in and I thought, no, you've got to go back home again, you can't face it. But I stayed. And when I got home and re-evaluated everything, I thought, yes, I'll go again. And of course, the rest is history, because I've been coming ever since. Thoroughly enjoy it. I've enjoyed meeting people who are local, who I didn't even know. It was doing exercises. I had to sit because I couldn't stand. I had to only do the top exercises, and then gradually I'm being able, sometimes now when we do line dancing, I can now do a few, or at least half the steps without any stick. So I've really, it's given me the friendship, and it's made me pick my life back up again. And it's the interest of everybody else. It's not just what we're doing on the day, it's everybody else that's there, of what their past has been, what their interests are. If I've not got to go anywhere, especially the winter time, the ball group may be the only time of the week that I come out.
So the opportunity for the ball group coming along, it gave us a chance to not only try and bring these people in the village who are of a certain age, who really weren't doing anything because there's nothing in the community for them, to bring them into a group and try and do something, get some sort of friendship going, get some activity going, and get some crafts, develop the skills, because they all had skills of some sort. We just didn't know what they were, and they weren't being used. We managed to engage some people from other communities. The village of Nakando is about three miles away from where we are just now. And we've now got 4 members from Nakando come along regularly. We've had people from Karen, the village of Karen, and go over to the east. We've come from Elkies and Overton, so they've all part of it. So overall now we've probably got access to about 20 members who are all able to contribute something. Probably for about 5-6 years there's been absolutely no bus service serving these adjacent communities. So the thought of a new bus service coming along was an eye-opener for us. It was an opportunity, and we wanted to take advantage of it. We felt that it was a use it or lose it sort of situation. We're finding now that probably about 50% of the ball group are regularly using the bus service on a Monday and on a Wednesday. In fact, it's actually become a little bit of party atmosphere on the bus. Everybody knows each other, so it's great fun. We know the driver knows us, we know where people get picked up, they get dropped off more or less at your door. So it's a great atmosphere, and it's been a great contribution to the whole community.
What's on offer in Moray for the less mobile and more vulnerable older people, but still being connected to your community and maintaining your independence? S.E.T groups are our newest community development. A transition from a ball group to a S.E.T group is a natural progression for some older people. A S.E.T group known as Singing, Exercise and Tea is a friendly smaller group for older people who enjoy reminiscing to music whilst participating in gentle chair-based exercises. S.E.T groups also complement the NHS Physio Fall Prevention Programme by offering continuous reablement in a community-based setting. S.E.T group members still feel connected to their community, reducing social isolation and loneliness by sharing memories and making new friends over a cuppa.
Nowadays, I'm an Extend teacher, which is exercise for people that have limitations, whether because of their age or because something's happened to them. And we try to keep people moving, because keeping going is what keeps you going. Well, I think the S.E.T groups are better for people who it might be more difficult to go into a big group. And for people who need a little bit more care about what they do, and that will have to do a little bit more thinking, but also it's not just about exercise. There's a lot about we use the music in ways that, and not just music, but getting people to use their voices and that in ways that helps raise their spirits without them realising that that's what we're doing. Well, with coming in as a block, I actually can pick some things that are important to the people, and we can progress. And some of it is about just making people feel good and confidence building, like learning a bit of a song and then taking it on and doing a bit more. But of course, while we're doing that, we're also increasing the repetitions that we do of things, the actual strength of things. So by the end of it, they've actually progressed from where they are to somewhere that's much more flexible or much stronger or much better balanced.
Similar to a S.E.T group, these groups are specifically for older people with long-term health conditions to improve physical, social and mental well-being. Through building friendships and support networks,
I've got two groups in Buckie. One is a falls prevention group, which I like to call the Strength and Balance group, but they like to call the Falls Prevention group, which is fine. And they are, as it is described, it's people who've had falls, but there's also a lot of comorbidities going on there. There's lots of other conditions that they have which affect their balance. I got a phone call asking if I'd be interested, because I've been an exercise instructor for a long time, would I be interested in working with the physio department, the community physio department, to provide some kind of follow-on after they had given people their rehab sessions, because there was nowhere in the community that they could send them to. And you send people home with a list of exercises to do, and with the best will in the world, you tend not to do them. You forget about them or find another excuse. And then subsequently, I got another phone call asking if I'd be interested in setting up a COPD group, post-pulmonary rehab COPD group. They had nowhere to send people after they'd done their rehab. And the rehab did a lot of good, but people said they went home and they just didn't do the exercises. And so their condition not necessarily worsened, but certainly wasn't managed particularly well. I was trained as an exercise instructor, and I just kind of carried on doing that as well as doing my day job, which was in public health, with the public health team in Spiney, in Elgin. And of course I learnt an awful lot about behaviour change and lifestyle, and much more than I had already about as far as other aspects of life were concerned: nutrition, smoking, alcohol, that kind of thing. And I retired from the NHS in 2012. I'm also a jog leader, and I'm a walk leader, and I work with older people doing walking and jogging and stuff like that as well. Last year I got my level 3 GP exercise referral qualification. There's the physical and there's also the psychological benefits, huge psychological benefits for people to come along. Number of people I've spoken to over the years who've said, I thought I was the only one who had this, and I found that there's other people who have it, so I can come and talk about it. I can talk about how fed up I'm getting, or how poorly I'm feeling, or what the different drugs do, and so on and so on, as well as getting benefit from doing the exercises. I see the difference in them. The thing is, they have to keep coming for a certain length of time, A, before it becomes a habit, and B, before it actually makes a difference. You can't come once. Sometimes people think they can come once and that's it. Oh, well, nothing happened. Well, no, it won't if you just do it once. You have to keep coming. And the fact that they're very friendly, very, very friendly groups and very inclusive means that people actually quite like coming back because it's a bit of fun as well, which I think is hugely important, hugely important. Yeah, we all have a laugh as well as working hard.
For those who just want to have a blether, social groups are throughout Moray. Social groups and lunch groups are friendly groups of older people coming together, either through a planned activity, coffee and a chat, or a lunch group to prepare a meal. The majority of our social groups throughout Moray are held in sheltered housing community rooms. These groups encourage members out with the complex to join their group, which supports their connections with the local community and develops new friendships. New movements of community development, which encourages communities to take responsibility for themselves, is the growth and development of men's sheds and the University of the Third Age, which are booming. We also support the men's sheds development. Men involved in community men's sheds report living healthier, happier and more connected lives. University of the Third Age. A stimulating organisation quite unlike others. Besides fostering friendships, it encourages lifelong learning and it does it by both entertaining and informing. This is a snapshot of what's on offer in Moray for the over 60s. B.A.L.L groups, S.E.T groups, COPD and balance groups, social groups including social and lunch groups, men's sheds and U3A. The development of health and social care community groups is a preventative approach which offers a method to future-proof Moray in a way which creates flourishing, connected communities for all generations to benefit. If you would like to join a group or know more about a group, please contact us at cwdevelopmentteam@moray.gov.uk or telephone us on 01343 563 510.
My son, actually, who lives locally, he likes to know what I'm doing each day. And he always says, it's down to the duffers today, is it? And it's the duffers, we call it. It's a duffers ball group. But yeah, it's lovely. I wouldn't miss it for anything.